You spent weeks and months preparing for the CPA exam, and now the big day's arriving, and you want everything to go as smoothly as possible. So I'm going to give you about 10 things in this video that you need to do to make sure your exam day process is as smooth as could be and everything goes to plan. So without further ado, let's get into it. So you've studied all the material and you're ready to take the exam, and at this point you basically have all the knowledge and content you need to go execute, but you need to make sure things around the exam, like your preparation, how you get to the exam, all that sort of thing, like it goes very smoothly, there's no hiccups, and you give yourself the best shot of passing the exam. So first thing I'm gonna say is to relax. I know it sounds like a lot, like you've studied for so long, this is such a huge exam, and you probably have so many nerves, which is extremely understandable, especially if this is your first exam, you haven't sat for one yet. Like, you're just gonna have nerves. It's so natural for each exam. But just relax, like try your best, take some deep breaths, and just remind yourself, I've prepared, I've worked really hard, like I've given it the best shot I can. Now I just have to go in and execute. And at the end of the day, it's just an exam. You can always take it again. So just relax, you'll be okay. Okay, next up is something you should be doing, every night before your exam for a few weeks, but especially the night before the exam, and that is manifest it. Picture your success. Like when you're laying down in bed, think about the next day, picture how it's gonna go down from the moment you wake up to the moment you lay your head back down on the pillow. Just picture how you're gonna, have your breakfast, get dressed, get to the exam, and everything can go so smoothly with the check-in, and you're gonna feel so confident, you're gonna get some easy questions to start, and you're just gonna build your confidence and stay really focused and just do a great job throughout the exam, and then get home and relax and celebrate and all that sort of stuff. Just picture it all, picture an amazing day, how it's gonna go, and believe that it's gonna happen. Some people might say that's like woo-woo and doesn't really work, which fair enough, maybe it doesn't, but it definitely helped me. If you think it's helping, it may as well be helping. That's my view on it. So picture your success, manifest it. All right, next up is to rest. Make sure you get good sleep the night before the exam. Don't be up all night cramming. If you've prepared even relatively well for this exam, the benefits you'll gain from a good night's sleep definitely outweigh the benefits you gain from cramming and staying up till 3 a.m. So whatever your threshold is, whether it's 7 hours, 8 hours, 9 hours, whatever it is to get a good night's sleep, make sure you get that. Have a restful night, relaxing night, and yeah, it'll just make sure you arrive the next morning in the best condition possible. And lots of sleep is a great way to do that. And even before bedtime, even before you go to sleep, make sure you're resting. I would say, for me personally, around 5 or 6 p.m. the night before the exam, I was kind of like, okay, that's it. Like, I'm done studying. I'm just gonna relax, maybe hang out with friends, family, have a nice dinner, watch a movie, whatever it is, kind of just enjoy the night and say, at this point, I've prepared as much as I can, and I just need to relax and tell myself, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. Like, I've given myself the best chance possible. Now just, relax. Come in tomorrow feeling confident and go kill it. Okay, next up is nutrition. Make sure you eat right, don't be stuffing your face with junk food and terrible foods that are gonna make you crash either the morning of the exam or the night before. Like, pretend like you're an athlete before a big game, because any advantage you can give yourself, it's gonna help. So eat healthy, get your fruits and vegetables, have some meat, and don't overdo it. Don't stuff yourself full. The morning of the exam, also make sure to have a good breakfast. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, but definitely make sure you eat. You don't want to be in the exam like starving and wishing you had eaten. So like I said, athlete on a game day, eat like that, and I'm sure you'll give yourself a great chance in the exam. You also want to plan your route. Know how you're going to get to the test center on the day of the exam, because you don't want to wake up and have to go to the test center and be like, oh shoot, how am I getting there? Am I driving? Is my roommate driving me? Am I Ubering? Am I walking? Am I taking the train? Like, what is it? Make sure you have that planned in advance, because honestly, you don't want any extra stress on exam day. So having that figured out a few days in advance will definitely, ease that stress and make sure that's not an issue, so you won't get there late. Which, yeah, that's another thing. Make sure you show up early. Like, not on time, show up early. I know sometimes the testing centers are a little hectic and you do sometimes have to wait to check in. I've heard from people, but for me, they've been very, very easygoing and like not super busy. So when I showed up, even if it was early, they're like, okay, yeah, you can start your exam, and it wasn't a problem. But you definitely don't want to run the risk of showing up late and for some reason not being able to take the exam, or just adding extra stress onto your plate because you're showing up late. Definitely make sure you know how you're getting to the testing center and show up early. Also, plan your fit. Pretend like it's the first day of 9th grade and you got your outfit laid out the night before, because it's just one less thing to worry about. You don't want exam day to come and you're stressing about, oh, what do I wear? No, have it planned out beforehand. And I would say wear something relatively nice. I mean, don't have to wear like a suit and tie or anything like that, but I wouldn't come in like PJs and sweatpants. I just feel like when you're a little bit more put together, you're gonna feel more confident and ready to take hold of the exam, seize the day, all that sort of stuff. Whereas if you roll up in PJs and sweatpants, even though you don't feel tired and lazy, like you might subconsciously feel that way, just because of what you're wearing. So definitely make sure to dress relatively well. Okay, next tip is to have all the paperwork you need printed out and ready to go. There's a bunch of stuff you need, and honestly I don't even really remember. It's actually maybe not even that much, like ID, NTS, and maybe some other things. I really can't remember off the top of my head, but I just made sure to have everything printed out and on my phone just in case. Like, you don't want any hiccups, you don't want anything to worry about on exam day, so just make sure to have it all ready to go and bring it with you. And make sure you have it printed out like a couple days before. You don't want to be night before or day of worrying about printing this stuff, like having printer problems, running out of ink, running out of paper, anything like that. So honestly, 4, 5, 6 days in advance, make sure you have everything ready, because like I said, no last minute hiccups needed. Make sure to bring some snacks with you. At the testing center, they give you a locker and you can put your things in there. So I usually brought an apple or granola bar, just some snacks, and in between, the 3rd and 4th test that I think it was, I would take my break and just have a little snack, refuel the body, because you definitely don't want to be in the exam worrying about your stomach being like, oh my gosh, I'm so hungry, like I should have eaten, anything like that. Definitely make sure to bring snacks and eat them during your break if you're hungry. So yeah, that's my personal advice right there. Okay, and my last piece of advice is this: relax. I know I said it once, but I'm saying it again, relax. This exam does not define you. If you go in there and do horribly, it's okay. You can take it again. Like, it's not the end of the world. It's just an exam. You can always take it again. So just go in there and give it your best shot. That's another thing. Give it your best shot. If you are in there and you think it's going horribly, doesn't matter. Just stay focused, work hard, and give it your best shot. Don't give up and be like, oh, this is pointless. Like, there's no shot I'm gonna pass. Doesn't matter. You've worked too hard to, waste this chance. Get in there and give it your best shot, because also, you never know what could happen. I remember when I took reg, I was like, oh my gosh, this is horrible. Like, I am not passing. This is so bad. Turns out I passed. Like, you just never know. So even if it's going horribly, just give it your all, give it 100%, and you never know what could happen. But yeah, those are my pieces of advice. So those are my pieces of advice for the CPA exam, like the actual exam day. You put in all this work to prepare, and now on exam day, you just have to make sure everything goes well to give yourself a great chance of passing. But like I said, it doesn't define you. You can always take it again. It's just an exam. So just always keep that in mind. But I do hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, I'd really appreciate it if you gave it a like. And if you're interested in more videos, subscribe to the channel. But yeah, I'll see you next time. Thanks.